Everybody, to our Thursday, May 18th City Commission meeting. We will call this meeting to order, and thank you all for being here. If you will join us, and if you can, please rise as we are led in the invocation and pledge of allegiance.
Here this month of May, as we prepare our hearts and minds to do the good work before us here this evening, let us all take a moment of silence to be thankful for our mothers and mother figures who support and guide us, grateful for our graduates who blaze trails for our community, and appreciate our armed forces who made the ultimate sacrifice to assure our freedoms. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Nice Thank prayer. You, Hillary.
Nice prayer.
Okay. Now we'll move on to presentations. And our first presentation is the National Safe Boating Week. I'll turn that over to Vice Mayor John Tornga.
Thank you, Mayor. Commander Gordon Thomas, Commander of our U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary Flotilla, would you please have your folks come up? And before I begin, a little unusual, would you mind introducing each one of them to the audience, please?
Yes. This is Dave McGee, who's our staff officer from Vessel Examinations. And this is Nikki, what's the last name? Marilyn Halstead. She's one of our new members. I'm still trying to remember her name. And this over here is Park Honeywell, who's been a member for many years.
Okay, we'll have you just go stand right at the podium.
You would stand down in front of this platform here and allow me to read this to you if you stand right down there.
On the other side of it.
You can just look right up at us.
There we go.
And I want to point out I do have my water watcher.
Very good.
And furthermore, oftentimes we ask the city manager to wear a life preserver when we do this. And this time I suggested perhaps it be in our last evening here, that I just go ahead and read this to you. This is very important to all of us, it being a coastal city. And I've seen many of you near our marina and working out with us and keeping us safe. National Safe Boating Week 2023. Whereas for nearly 100 million Americans, boating continues to be a popular recreational activity. From coast to coast and everywhere in between, people are taking to the water and enjoying time together boating, sailing, paddling, and fishing. And whereas during National Safe Boating Week, the U.S. Coast Guard and its federal, state, and local safe boating partners encourage all boaters to explore and enjoy America's beautiful waters responsibly, as safe boaters begins with preparation. And whereas the Coast Guard estimates that human error accounts for 70% of all boating accidents, and that life jackets could prevent nearly 85% of boating fatalities. Through basic boating safety procedures, carrying life-saving emergency distress and communications equipment, wearing life jackets, attending safe boating courses, participating in free boat safety checks, and staying sober when navigating, we can help ensure boaters on America's coastal, inland, and offshore waters stay safe through the season. And whereas National Safe Boating Week is observed to bring attention to important life-saving tips for recreational boaters so that they can have a safer, more fun experience out on the water and throughout the year. And whereas on an average, 650 people die each year in boating-related accidents in the United States, and 76% of these are fatalities caused by drowning. And whereas the vast majority of these accidents are caused by human error or poor judgment, and not by the boat, equipment, or environmental factors. And whereas a significant number of boaters who lose their lives by drowning each year would be alive today had they worn their life jackets. Now therefore I, John Torringer, by virtue of the authority invested in the mayor of the city of Dunedin, Florida, and on behalf of the entire city commission, do hereby support the goals of the Safe Boating Campaign and proclaim May 20th to 26th, 2023 as National Safe Boating Week and the start of the year-round effort to wear a life jacket while boating and promote safe boating. Would you like to say a few words, please? You can say them right down there in the microphone. Thank you, sir.
During National Safe Boating Week, I am proud to join with the United States Coast Guard Auxiliary and the City of Dunedin in accepting this proclamation. We are encouraging all Floridians to institute the safe boating practices necessary to enjoy state's waters responsibly. For more than 60 years, raising awareness of safe boating procedures has helped to reduce injuries and fatalities, even as the number of Americans spending time out in the water has continued to grow. Boat operators can reduce the number of water-related accidents through proper preparation and sensible precautions. A free vessel safety check conducted by the United States Coast Guard Auxiliary is an essential first step in ensuring a boat is ready for navigation on the water. New boaters can take courses in our classroom at the Dunedin Marina to learn how they can ensure that everyone returns from the water unharmed. Life jackets also remain indispensable in preventing drowning, the most common cause of boating fatalities. For this reason, every boat needs to be equipped with proper life jackets for everybody on board, and they should be worn while on the water. Additionally, individuals must never pilot a boat while intoxicated, and passengers should moderate their alcohol consumption as a precaution against accidents. By taking the necessary steps, we can make Florida waters even safer for all who enjoy them. Again, I thank the mayor, the vice mayor, and the committee in accepting this proclamation. I do want to add, too, I think it's kind of important to note, this is our 65th anniversary of being in existence, and one of the charter members was a mayor of this city. And we have had another mayor that also became a member of our auxiliary as well. Hint, hint. We want to offer every one of you the chance to become an auxiliary member. If you like, please contact myself. We accept men and women, all ages, as you can tell, and all sexes. And also anyone in the audience who has any interest. It's all part of us. We all have to work with this to make this happen. And again, we thank you very much for backing us and allowing us to do this in your city.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, very good. Our next presentation is Older Americans Month Proclamation, and I will turn that over to Commissioner Gao.
Thank you. Oh, look at that. She's coming up already.
I'm sorry.
She is ready. No, Virginia, you stay there, girl.
Come back.
No. Yes, Virginia, would you please step forward? Thank you very much. I refer to this proclamation as Young at Heart Month 2023. Very exciting, and this to me goes along with the next proclamation as well. I just think it's a wonderful night when we can celebrate our seniors. Older Americans Month 2023. Whereas the City of Dunedin includes a growing number of older Americans who contribute their time, wisdom, and experience to our community. And whereas communities benefit when people of all ages and abilities and all backgrounds have the opportunity to participate and live independently. And whereas Dunedin and the Area Agency on Aging of Pasco and Pinellas recognize the need to create a community that offers the services and support of older adults that they may need to make choices about how they age. And whereas Dunedin and the Area Agency on Aging of Pasco Pinellas can work to build an even better community for our older residents by not limiting or thinking about aging, exploring and combating stereotypes, emphasizing the many positive aspects of aging, ensuring older adults to push past traditional boundaries, and embracing our community's diversity. Now therefore I, Jeff Gow, by the virtue of the authority vested in me by the mayor of the city of Dunedin, and on behalf of the entire city commission, do hereby proclaim May 2023 to be Older Americans Month. The City of Dunedin and the Area Agency on Aging of Pasco Pinellas urge every resident to celebrate our older citizens, help to create an inclusive society, and accept the challenge of flexible thinking around aging. So, Virginia. And there's a shortcut.
Thank you very much and good evening. I want to accept this on behalf of Anne Marie Winter, who is the Executive Director of the Area Agency on Aging for Pinellas and Pasco. She was unable to be here, and I happened to see her at their annual meeting yesterday, and she asked me to sit in and bring this back to her. As you know, the Area Agency on Aging serves the entire county. In terms of elder services, they are presenting all kinds of original programs, and it's just an outstanding service, which I couldn't do without being working in the elder field for over 30 years. So it's wonderful. Thank you very much, and I'll share this with her. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
You stay there, though. You might as well stay there, yeah.
Okay. Our next item is our Senior Hall of Fame inductees proclamation. I will turn that over to Commissioner Franny.
Great, and maybe we want to have our recipients come up now as well, or?
Sure.
You wanted to have Jackie Nigro and Frank and Gina Masato?
Any staff that I didn't see, please come up, and then our winners come up too. Absolutely.
That'd be great. Okay. And as everybody up here knows, there was a great ceremony, I guess last week it was, to honor the new inductees, and it was wonderful and quite great histories of what you've done for the community, Jackie and Gina and Frank. So, 2023 Senior Hall of Fame inductees. Whereas the City of Dunedin has always been and continues to be a community comprised of people who donate their time and abilities to serving. And whereas Dunedin has been recognizing its senior community with the Senior Hall of Fame since 1999, and this year's inductees, Gina and Frank Masato and Jackie Nigro, have certainly made significant contributions to the City of Dunedin and its residents. And whereas our inductees continue to lead by example and give of themselves with the hope that what they do will assist in making a difference in the lives of those they encounter. And whereas we who have come to know Gina, Frank, and Jackie realize that they have made a great difference, and we definitely know that. You guys are amazing. And Dunedin is indeed fortunate to be able to count them among its residents. Now, therefore, I, Maureen Mo Franey, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Mayor of the City of Dunedin, Florida, and on behalf of the entire City Commission, do hereby honor our 2023 Senior Hall of Fame inductees in recognition of their accomplishments and contributions that have enriched the lives of so many. So, Jenny. And just take the mic there.
Well, thank you very much, all of you. A new level in life, a senior citizen, better than the alternative. I would say. Hope you all get there, not soon.
I only have one thing to say, and that's Frank and I moved to Dunedin in our early 20s. So we've had a lot of years to work on things. And we love the city, raised our kids here, and are very pleased with your work.
Thank you very much.
Well, don't go anywhere, because I mean, it's not, I know most of us here were able to be there. I certainly wasn't able to be there. Something came up, and I totally apologize for that. But we look forward to this every year, because the heart of a community is when you have great volunteerism and great activism, and especially when it comes in the form of all ages. And you guys set that example and set the bar high, so we truly appreciate that. Anybody else have anything they want to
Did
say?
you want Jenny to say something first?
I just wanted to say that the theme this year, of course, is Aging Unbound, and our winners this year certainly exemplify that in every way, shape, and form. Our speakers were talking about that at the SHOF last week, but they exemplify that, and it's just such a pleasure for our committee. It's such an honor for us to get to know these citizens who have given 20 and 30 years of their lives to the city. It just makes us very proud. And I want to thank my committee, of which we have 2 members here, Sally and Stella, and also the Parks and Recreation staff. Both of you want to stand up? Okay, Elaine? And yes?
You can do it. Go ahead. Oh, wow. That was spectacular, Elaine.
And I think we had over 35 or 40 sponsors this year who really supported our event in a great way. So it's just really been a pleasure, and we look forward to it every year. It's just a very special experience for our committee. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Mayor, thank you for allowing us to say something, because I do want to say something for Gina, Frank, and Jackie. The mayor said it really well, and some of the most important assets of our city are our residents, and you guys just give such a leading example of that. She said that already, but I just wanted to say it because I know you guys, and just wanted to thank you for all your service. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor. There are 2 things that I really, really enjoy about Dunedin. One is the diversity in the town, and the other is connections. And I'm always amazed at the people you pass on the sidewalk, or you meet at a restaurant, or even you're on a board or committee with that you really don't know. And then you come to things like this event, and you hear the backstory and the wonderful things that they've done, not just professionally in their lives, but what they've done for this community. And it's always just so touching that once you get to know people and understand it, that the connections that bring, and it just comes back to community to me. So I can't applaud that event any more than I do. So it's wonderful. Thank you.
You want me to go first, or Rob?
I'm going to come back to you because you were the presenter.
So I just want to thank you for your service. You know, it's your service that makes Dunedin what it is, and to be able to hear your stories and allow yourselves to be part of and serve the community is truly an honor to us, and it's truly an honor to this community. So, thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to finish up by saying, I mean, when I went to the, I guess technically it was a breakfast, but of course, the program, those of you who were there, the program lists all the past people that have won it since 1999, and it truly is like the elite. I mean, you look at those names, and they're people whose fingerprints and their giving have changed this community. And so this is, Jackie and Gina and Frank, when you looked at your stories and all that you've done for Dunedin through the years, it's amazing. And I think, Commissioner Gao, you said it. That's what makes Dunedin really special, because people have passion and they're engaged. You're really part of it. But you are now part of an elite group. And you look at those names, and they're special people that made a difference in this community. And you are great people to be named to follow that legend, so to speak. So thank you.
Okay. We love you guys. If you want to stick around, you can, but you don't have to.
Run.
Just remember, this will be the last time you're in this building.
That's right.
Run fast.
Well, except for the closeout before we knock it down.
Yeah, well.
Decommission it. Yeah. With that special permission from the city manager. That's important.
Uh-oh. Okay. And then finally, we have the Law Enforcement Appreciation Month. And I will turn that over to Commissioner Walker.
So in my opinion, it should be every day should be Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. In recognition for what you do every single day, the sacrifices that you make. Also in recognition of National Peace Officer Memorial Day, which was Monday, and then this is National Law Enforcement Week. It's absolutely my pleasure and a privilege to read this proclamation. Law Enforcement Appreciation Month. Whereas the City of Dunedin and the City's Commission top priority is public safety and the well-being of all residents and visitors, and whereas every day the men and women of law enforcement protect and serve in a professional and expedient manner while respecting and working with the community, and whereas the public servants in the Dunedin and surrounding areas have implemented policies and programs that have done much to foster an atmosphere of open communication, collaboration, trust, and service to all. And whereas our local Pinellas County Sheriff's Office efforts should serve as a shining example for other agencies throughout the country to emulate in working with the communities they serve. And whereas members of law enforcement agencies around the world risk their own lives to save the lives of others while protecting our families, citizens, schools, and businesses, we appreciate your many sacrifices. And whereas the City of Dunedin supports and recognizes all those who stand on the front line to keep our community safe. Now therefore I, Robert Walker, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Mayor of the City of Dunedin, Florida, and on behalf of the entire City Commission, do hereby proclaim May 2023 as Law Enforcement Appreciation Month in Dunedin, and all citizens to recognize the extraordinary service and sacrifice of those in law enforcement who keep our community safe. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for this. We'll gladly accept it on behalf of the Sheriff's Office. Obviously, we've been serving in Dunedin for quite some time now, since you guys dissolved the original police department. I'm sure that most of you have probably made quite a few memories with some of the past community policing deputies you've had, probably some stories that we can't share up here. And we look forward to continuing our partnership with the city and with the citizens, the staff, and all the individuals in the area. And we look forward to creating new memories.
Thank you, guys. I think Teresa has something she might have wanted to say. No? Is our liaison? Okay. Thank you for all you do. Okay, now we'll go to citizen input. Anybody wishing to come forward and speak to any item that is not already on the agenda?
This is going to be a positive note. Dwayne Wright, 250 New York Avenue. As you know, I served on the Board of Architectural Appeal. I spent 12 years in this room. And it's going to miss the building, but I wanted to give a shout out to the all-male commissioners last week. You got the job done and out of here in an hour. So congratulations, I'm going back and do shopping.
Okay, anyone else wishing to come forward and speak to any item that's not already on the agenda?
My body doctor.
Madam Mayor,
Yes, sir.
Commissioners, it's good to see us all again. As you remember, a year ago, it was standing room only in these chambers. There was a lot of controversy, a lot of anxiety, a lot of people pointing their fingers and making accusations in a lot of cases that weren't true. And you folks were faced with a very important decision, and that was the overlay in protecting the south side of historic Dunedin. And as I remember, it was a year ago that you said, we're going to revisit this in a year. And I just want to let you know that I'm not a squeaky wheel. I care a great deal about this city and about what the direction of Dunedin has taken. People can only imagine and only hope to be as successful as what the city of Dunedin has been over the last several decades, and it's all because of the good work that you people have done and the people that occupied the seats before you. All I'm asking you is to stay the course. The overlay is working. People sat back and said that it was going to be the demise of the real estate game in the historic South Side, and as I see it, it's been just the opposite. The real estate in the historic South Side has went beyond everybody's possible imagination. And it's because you folks, as commissioners, showed that you cared. And when you care, it spreads and it emulates a positive feeling throughout the community. And I'm just hoping that when this comes up for review, that you folks stay the course. It's working. We're all winners in this. There's nobody that's a loser. And it's something that I've seen happen before. This is not anything new for me. I've seen it before, and it works. And what you folks have done is been very positive, and I hope that you continue doing the job that you've done to protect our South Side. So in closing, I can only say thank you for what you've done. Thank you for what you do. And thank you for doing the right thing.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Anyone else wish to come forward and speak to any item that's not already on the agenda? Okay. We'll move forward with our action items. We have the first reading of Ordinance 23-02, deleting and revising Chapter 70, Taxation, Business Tax Receipt in its entirety. Hillary, would you please read that ordinance by title only?
Ordinance 23-02, an ordinance of the City of Dunedin, Florida, deleting and revising Chapter 70 Taxation, Article 3 Business Tax Receipt of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Dunedin, Florida in its entirety, providing for publication in accordance with the requirements of law, providing for codification, providing for severability, and providing an effective date. This has been the reading of Ordinance 23-02 by title only.
Okay, can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Vice Mayor Twarnga and Commissioner Walker. Okay, George?
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, this initiative has actually been led by Mr. DePasqua, who I expected to be here this evening to present this item to you. So I don't have quite the background that he does, but I can certainly talk to you a little bit about the process. This is an item that I know came out of Charter Review Committee some years ago before I actually arrived to Dunedin. And it is a revision of our BTR program, particularly our classifications and payment system portion of the BTR. We have, I know the Commission has seen this in the past, and hopefully some of that information is in your backup. It has recently, basically that same schematic has been brought to the Equity Committee that you all appointed a few months ago. They had one sitting for that review, and they approved and authored, recommended approval of the application exactly as it sits before you today, which is very consistent with what you saw originally coming out of that Charter Review Committee. I did go to the Land Planning Agency last month for their review and consideration, and they also recommended approval. And unfortunately, that's all I have for you tonight.
You're fine. This isn't that complicated.
So,
I'm sure there's a good reason.
I'm sure there is.
I bet you Joey went to the new building. No, I'm teasing.
No, I'm sure
joking.
he has a great reason for not.
We're not worried about it. We just hope he's okay.
Yeah.
And we have Jennifer and we have Hillary to ask questions of as well. So, okay. Questions on this, or everybody feel it's pretty?
Well, I have a detailed question to ask Jennifer, very, mathematically.
Yeah, okay, stop it.
No, I don't have any question. You had that little smile on your face, so I wasn't believing you for a
Any
second.
questions from anybody? Okay, this is a public hearing. Anybody wishing to come forward and speak to this item, please feel free to do so. Seeing or hearing none, I'll come back to the commissioners. Maker of the motion, Vice Mayor, any final comments?
I'll just make a quick one. This is something that we've looked at for a number of years. I know the Board of Finance has been involved in this. This just kind of puts it all together and puts it into effect. So that's a comment that I have. I had no further questions after speaking with the city manager and having some familiarity with this. So I'm very pleased to vote on this.
He's alive and well. Commissioner Walker, anything?
No question.
No, any final comments? You don't have to.
No, I have no comments.
Commissioner?
No.
Commissioner?
I just wanted to thank the committees for their hard work and due diligence and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, it's pretty status quo. I'm not worried about it. I see that Joey's here. Did you want to add anything? Okay.
Good comment. You even put a tie on it.
Okay. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Gao,
Aye.
Commissioner Franny,
Aye.
Commissioner Walker,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Torringa,
Aye.
and Mayor Bujowski.
Aye, that motion passes unanimously. Joey, thanks so much for all the hard work.
No, seriously, Joey
did work
led
on
this.
No, I know he did. I'm just, it's one of those moments where you get to mess with somebody. Gotta mess with them a little bit.
I think he owes George a drink.
And I heard he was late for every meeting.
Okay, now we have a start item, by the way, Rob, a start item is when we add something to the agenda. If I've never told you this, I'm just trying to.
Thank you.
It's a new item that we've added to an agenda that we haven't seen before, so we have to vote to put it on the agenda.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so this is a start item, lien reduction request for the property located at 1540 Pleasant Grove Drive in the amount of $310,828 and change. Can I have a motion to place this on the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Vice Mayor Torringa and Commissioner Gao. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. It is now on the agenda. Jennifer, did you have any opening?
I think my only opening is, Mayor, that George Kinney, Director of Community Development, is going to do the last staff presentation in this building, ever.
Really?
Yes.
Well, it better be good.
There you go, George. There you go.
This is the one everybody will remember.
Yeah, all right. Well, thank you all. So this is a lien amnesty request. As you know, it's a negotiated agreement. It recommends a 45% reduction with an additional financial hardship consideration and a final payment of $10,000 paid at the time of the property sale, and as further recommended by the agreement that's in your backup. We received this lien amnesty application in early March for the site located at 1540 Pleasant Grove Drive. The application was brought by Mr. Agoda, and I think he's here in the audience. If you have questions of him at any point, in the amount of, as you mentioned, Mayor, $310,828 and change. Pursuant to our lien reduction resolution, the Code Compliance Division has been out to the site and has affirmed that all the violations have been mitigated and no longer exist. And so accordingly, the applicant then qualifies for the program. A staff memo originally was forwarded to the city manager in the middle of March recommending that 45% reduction, which brought that lien from $310,828 and change down to $170,955 and change. The applicant then followed that up with a request for financial hardship consideration, which we entertained and which Jennifer and I both took a look at. Through that process, and the backups in your exhibits, or is in your, exhibits are in your backup, exhibits F, H, I, and J, kind of show that outstanding mortgage ratio to the presumed sale price, which I believe they already have a contract of sale, and they have a closing on May 31st, it's my understanding, and that's why we wanted to put this on as a start item, and we appreciate your patience in doing so. So once you look at some of that financial data, the delta after the sale is roughly about $70,000. There's about $50,000 of assorted fees and whatnot in there. So the net take home for, I think, for the applicants around $30,000. So we thought $10,000 was a fair ask to be paid to the city at the time of sale. So in summary, the staff and the city manager are recommending just that, a 45% lien reduction with additional financial hardship consideration and a final amount due to the city of $10,000. That would be due and payable within 90 days, or if listed for sale with a licensed realtor, within the next 30 days upon the sale of the property, providing the closing occurs within 3 months of such listing. And again, we anticipate a closing in a couple of weeks. So we believe that'll happen relatively quickly. One thing I do want to add is there's a companion lien to this, and the amount owed on that companion lien is $512 and change to the city. One thing that we would ask as a staff is that they either discuss how that payment will be made or tack it on possibly to this payment and make it part of the sale. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions. And again, I know the applicant's here if you have questions of them.
Okay. Any questions of George?
I guess my only question, George, is how long was this property out of compliance?
Since 2018, yes, 2018. 2018. I think the companion lien was 2018, this lien was 2019.
And it was brought into compliance when?
I don't know if I have the code.
Yeah, we can't have you guys talking from the audience, but thank you. Appreciate that.
This year. Is it this year?
I'm sure it was this year. It's probably, typically what happens is if we don't have an affidavit of compliance, which I don't think there was for either one of these two, when we get the lien application, we send the code compliance team out immediately. So it was probably done at the time of the lien application.
Okay. No, I mean, I asked that question, obviously, my highlight is always, I'm glad we have a structure for this, but for me, it's always about what have the neighbors had to, deal with, because it's their property values, it's their neighborhood. And so, I'm going to probably support this, but I think, that's the issue. We have to be able to protect the other neighbors and their property rights, so.
They are of record, Mayor, we did have some complaints from the neighborhood via email regarding this property.
Quite a number, if I remember. Okay, I'm going to open it up to the public. Anybody from the public wish to come forward and speak to this item?
Good evening, Mayor and City Commissioners. My name is Kathleen Agoda, and I am here today on behalf of my father-in-law, Harry Agoda. As you may know, Harry's wife, Lita Bazo, passed away in January of 2019, leaving behind the property located at 1540 Pleasant Grove Drive. Harry was a resident of this city since 1976, and Lita Bazo a resident for over 40 years herself, and now he's facing a difficult situation that I hope you can help him with. The property is currently held under Lita's estate, leaving Harry as 50% heir and her one surviving son and one grandson the remainder. Unfortunately, the property has accumulated over $300,000 in liens after Lita's death, which Harry and the estate do not have. These liens have prevented the property from closing, causing additional stress and financial burden on Harry. As his health is being affected, it's important that we find a resolution on this issue as soon as possible. I personally have contributed over $6,000 towards rectifying the code compliance issues. The estate is still responsible for paying attorney's fees as well as reimbursing others who helped. Additionally, Harry never received any notice of the liens, which made it difficult for him to address the issue in a timely manner. Thankfully, this property is still under contract, and if forgiveness is granted, the anticipated closing date is scheduled for May 22nd. I understand that forgiving liens is not a decision that is made lightly, but I ask that you consider Harry's situation and the impact that this financial burden has had on him. His only source of income is from Social Security, and Lita had a reverse mortgage on the house. Harry and the estate are unable to pay the full amount of the liens without significant hardship. If a reduction of the liens is granted to $10,000, it will only leave Harry with approximately $3,000 after closing. Unfortunately, Harry has accumulating medical expenses at this point in his life, and this portion of the remaining funds will not begin to touch the surface of what he will encounter. I implore you to consider Harry's case and offer a compassionate solution that will alleviate his financial burden and allow him to move forward with his life. Thank you for your time and your consideration.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to come forward and speak? Okay, I'm going to come back to the commission and ask if there is a motion to approve.
I move staff's recommendation.
Okay.
Second.
Commissioner Franny and Commissioner Gao. All right, any final comments? We kind of had them already.
No, yeah, I don't need to say anything else.
Okay.
I'm good.
Any final comments?
I'm in thought processes of definitely accepting staff's recommendation unless there was a very significant reason not to. I think staff was very open about this, very considerate, spent time with it. We spent money and time on this as well. I fully respect Harry. I do not know him personally, but that's not my responsibility at this point in time. It's just to take a look at this. So I would be open. I would be open for other considerations, but I definitely would vote for staff's recommendation.
Okay. Mr. Walker?
Yeah, I accept the staff's recommendation as well.
Okay. As do I. This has gone on for a number of years, and you know, I get it. A lot of people have gone through this, so over the years, we're happy to support the staff recommendation, and hopefully that's at least a $300,000 weight off your shoulders. So, roll call vote, please.
Vice Mayor Torringa?
Aye.
Commissioner Walker?
Aye.
Commissioner Gao?
Aye.
Commissioner Franny?
Aye.
Mayor Bujalski?
Aye, and the motion passes unanimously. Good luck. Okay. All right, and then we have the proposed agenda for June 8th. We have, and this will be in our new building.
It will.
Okay.
Wow.
You sure?
Yeah.
You push that button.
Okay, Deborah. All right, anybody have any changes for the June 8th?
No.
Okay. And this also has LGBTQ, the scholarship thing, and Juneteenth. I think it might be nice, and I don't know what our plan is, so I'm going to look at either you, Rebecca, or you, Jennifer, or both of you, that in our new building, we probably should reserve the first row of seats for people who are under presentations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they always have a place to sit, just in case. And maybe we'll need signage for that. I understand our first meeting, maybe not, it'll be signs on the seat, but it would be nice to have official signs that can be in the,
Professional type sign.
yes, that says first row presenters
Sure,
or something, just so we always know that they have a place to sit.
Absolutely.
Okay, can I have a motion to approve this agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Torringa and Commissioner Gao. Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Okay, and so for any informational items, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Our last meeting in this building.
Malfunctioning. And
Jorge had it last.
Our last official action.
Yeah.
It's engineer's fault.
Very good. All right. Thank you all. Hopefully the next time you watch us, you'll be watching us in our new building.
You there tomorrow night?
Okay? All right. We are adjourned.